Decepticons attack! Yeah! We now get! Starscream's mine!
I'm beautiful!
Not on my watch. Shrink ray. I'll allow it.
Hello and welcome back, Transformer TCG fans. Okay, we're going to go over 2 Marina War characters and maybe 1 card in relation to another card that I've already mentioned and revealed. So let's just get into it. Let's look at the battle card first. Wall command mode. It's a funny picture of Blaster from the G1 show, where he's half transformed, and they were fighting the Morphobots. So, and I made a Morphobot card. If you remember, it's hybrid, orange and green. Do 1 damage to an enemy. If this is your 3rd Morphobots, do 1 damage to each enemy in bot mode. You may play another Morphobots. Not exactly easy to say, but it is a nice hybrid orange-green pip card for non-attack damage. So it's sort of taking Zap to a whole new level, where, you know, a card that can be triplicated if you can hold on to them. The funny thing is I was testing this out, and whenever I would flip Morphobots, I was calling it orange. I wanted to call it orange to be able to get the extra attack. Because I didn't call it green, I couldn't get it on the swap. And I'm like, wow, okay. I really wanted the attack. So, and I only ended up getting 1 Morphobots in my hand. Actually did use 1, but I wasn't able to get the full effect of being able to get all 3 Morphobots cards in my hand to be able to go 1, 2, 3 and do a damage to an enemy, and then being able to do 1 damage to them in bot mode. So that never really happened, but it's a neat perk if you want to call it green on the flip. Again, you know, would you want to? I didn't want to. So there's Morphobots. So thinking of that in mind, I made Wall Command mode. Now, Wall Command mode is another orange pip utility card, +1 defense, put on Blaster or Soundwave in alt mode only. So yes, we only have 1 official Blaster. We have at least 3 different sound waves, I believe. 2 of them transform. His alt mode is like at the spaceship, whatever. But then we had the special pack, which I did end up getting. I do have that Soundwave and Blaster, the Soundwave Blaster set. So he is the cassette. So it doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter which sound wave you're using this on, okay? Or it doesn't matter what blaster. If someone has made their own blaster, etc., etc. So, you know, you can only be introduced into the game on the battlefield in one of those characters in alt mode, okay? And then it does give +1 to defense. So you have that kind of dichotomy going against it, with, you know, aggressive on the flip, defensive on the equipment side, while the equipped character is in alt mode. So it's not preventing your character from flipping. It's not like one of my Power Masters or something, or the original idea of my Power Masters. So while the equipped character is in alt mode, reduce each of your other characters you control non-attack damage by 1 for turn. So, or maybe I don't need to put for turn on there. Maybe I just need to say, non-attack damage by 1, because it's going to be your opponent's turn, really. So if they're playing Morphobots, and they're trying to do multiple damage to your characters, and they play 3 Morphobots and do 3 damage to one of your characters, then, and you have Morphobots in play, and Blaster or Soundwave is in, they have to be in their alt mode. They have to be in their alt mode for this to be triggered. Then instead of, or even Zap or whatever, I mean, it's going to nullify Zap, like that. But Morphobots, if they play all 3 of them, let's say, and they call it green or whatever, you're able to get all 3 in their hand, and they try to do 3 damage to one of your characters, it gets 2 damage instead. And then if they do play all 3, it's going to do 1 damage to each enemy in bot mode. So if you see them playing with Morphobots, and you know that they have them in their hand, you might want to start trying to get your characters flipped to their alt mode, and maybe get those alt mode triggers happening if you have that going on. So that's wall command mode. So it's a neat defensive utility, which that's at least is going to do for Blaster or Soundwave. It can only be introduced into the game on Blaster or Soundwave in their alt mode. If they're in bot mode, you can't play it. Okay? So let's move on to Marina Wars. Then we're going to look at 2 characters, and I've been slowly working on these guys and getting everything kind of fixed. Make sure it sounds right, it looks right, etc., etc. And let's look at DOCK, D-O-C-K. I forgot what it stands for. 6-star Autobot, Corpsman, and Nautical. Of course, if you flip him over to bot mode, the Nautical is gone because he's not a boat. They don't keep the boat trait in the other side, so the Nautical is gone. So, put that into play. He is a rescue patrol and boat and melee in alt mode, and I forgot to write down what he is in bot mode. I think he's just rescue patrol and melee, but you'll see it up on the screen. In being what he is, his stats are very low. He has good health of 10 for a 6-star, which is still about the average or just under the average for a 6-star. Attack of 1, health of 10, defense of 2 in alt mode. In alt mode, when this defends and you flip at least 2 white pips, repair 1 damage from a boat you control. So it has to be a boat. I almost thought about maybe rescue patrols, because I added him to the rescue patrol. And I think the rescue patrol we have might be one of those boats. Yeah. Private Sea Watch, 5-star. Yes, he is a boat. He is rescue patrol. Boom. You're welcome. Oh my gosh, this works great. And I think I knew that when I created him. But when I created him, I was doing something completely different. And I'm really, really, really trying to tweak and tighten their usage better, tighten the wording better, etc., etc. So he's going to have some repair on boats. So if you have DOCK and you have, I just said the other Private Sea Watch, that's 11 stars right there. So you can add one of my other boats into play, or whatever, maybe a Decepticon if you want, and boom, repair 1 damage to a boat when you at least flip 2 white pips when DOCK is defending. DOCK has to defend to be able to do the repair from a boat you control. So we got to go backwards here, but so that can include DOCK. let's go back to Walkman mode really, really quick. Reduce each of your other characters you control. Okay? Non-attack damage. So, if if they notice this verbiage and they're like, oh, okay, well, and they play Morphobots, Zap, or they have a secret action that does 2 attack to you, or one of your characters, they might go after your blaster or sound wave. That's the easy thing to do, because the Walkman mode is not going to protect them. The Walkman mode on them in alt mode is only going to protect your other characters and reducing their non-attack damage by 1. Okay, so I needed to stress that. So back to Doc. Let's pull back in Doc. So let's flip Doc from alt mode to bot mode. Basically, his attack and defense is just flipped. His attack has gone up to 2. His defense comes down to 1. He automatically has a nice bold 1. While in this mode, and you draw a white card from your deck for turn. So you can't just be your second card from some other trigger, from some other character or base card or whatever. It has to be what you drew for turn. If it's a white card, you can draw 1 more from your deck. So that's Doc. And I don't know, maybe a character like this, if you're using maybe a motorcycle, maybe you have, say, Doc is 6, Private Sea Watch is 5, Flame War is 5. That's what, 16 right there. And maybe throw in Chromia. We have a Chromia, it's a motorcycle, or another motorcycle character, and throw in the stratagem Bike Gang, because if you've noticed, a lot of my boats tend to have some neat things going with white pip cards. Bike Gang is helping you utilize white pip cards also. But oh my goodness, I was just looking at this. Chromia with Bike Gang is 9 stars, with a Flame War who's 5 stars, Doc, who is 6, and maybe Private Sea Watch, who is 5. If I'm doing my math right, it does equal to 25 stars. So yeah, you can try to have those two boats, and Doc also being a rescue patrol, and the 2 motorcycles with Bike Gang, and some white, a little more than maybe at least 10 or 11 white pip cards instead of the Dan Arnold 9. Booyah! You might have something here. So while Doc is defending, and you flip at least 2, repair 1 damage. And if you get, while he's in bot mode, you draw a white card from your deck for turn, draw 1 more from your deck. Boom. So you got a little bit of draw power, possibility of draw power going on, and the possibility of repair. Again, both are pretty specific. So things to think about. Last character, Dinghbot. Dinghbot, originally I had 2 different versions. I had a large size, we had a small one, and I nixed that. It's just, we're doing Dinghbot, and there's a Dinghbot. We only need 1 Dinghbot. We have enough Dingbots. We have 1. He's a small card. He's a 5-star character. He's a hybrid faction, Autobot, and Decepticon. If I remember correctly, I drew him as I made him an Autobot with a Decepticon symbol on his arm. He's an Ensign Scout. He's a Rescue Patrol also. So in alt mode, he's got the boat trait, the Rescue Patrol, and melee trait. In alt mode, he has an attack of 1, health of 6, defense of 0. Puncture this guy one too much and he's gone. In alt mode, he's bold 1, and he has sync. Okay, what is sync? Sync is something that I've kind of come up with. It's a neat new ability term here. When you flip to this mode while in the KO, your chosen character has oppressed 1 for battle. So Dinghbot is going to need to be knocked out, put in the KO, flip him to his alt mode, and then whoever your chosen character is going to get oppress 1. And I believe I have the reminder of what oppress is. Basically, if whoever your chosen character is attacking, you have to subtract 1 from your bold. They have to subtract 1 from their bold. If they're attacking you, then you have tough -1, and they have to flip 1 less for tough as well. So, I mean, for bold. It goes back, either way. So you flip 1 less when it comes to bold or tough. So you can at least... Okay. So you can at least, flip 2 if you only have the bold 1. And he does have the bold 1 in this mode, in his alt mode. So there's that. Flip him over to bot mode. I think he's still melee. I didn't write their traits down in bot mode. I apologize. So you'll see it here on the screen. In bot mode, he has tough 1. His defense is 0. His attack goes up to 4. Each rescue patrol you control has tough 1. So while he has no defense, at least Dinghbot does have tough 2 in bot mode. Okay, and you put him this 5-star with other rescue patrols, you're going to give them all tough 1. So I thought this was a neat way of doing this, a neat way of adding a little more to the rescue patrols, some possibilities of helping those guys out to some extent. So what do you think? We got to go over Dinghbot. We looked at Dock. We kind of revisited the Morphobots and the new one, Walkman mode for Blaster or Soundwave, the Orange Pip utility card. Interesting stuff. The Morphobots, I think, work great. I've at least been able to test those. And yeah, it's considering, especially when it's a hybrid pip card and you're flipping it for battle, whichever color you pick, if you don't pick the green, you can't get it on the swap. If you pick the orange for the attack, then yeah, you're not going to be able to get it on the swap because you didn't call it green. That's the rub there. But if you flip Morphobots as on the defensive side, you call it green, you can get it back in your hand, swap it for a card in your hand. So it works great on the defensive, but not so much on the attack. And that's when I was seeing them the most, was when I was attacking with my characters. I think it was a Decepticon team playing with Morphobots. And interesting stuff. I didn't mean to go this long as normal. We'll see you next time. Thanks for listening. I've got a lot more stuff coming down the pike. Working on trying to go over how the base cards in Energon works. And I had something recorded. It went way too long. And I want to try to truncate that, make it a little shorter. And we'll see you next time. And I have a whole lot of stop motion ideas coming down that it's just going to take some time to do. So if you made it this far, throw scraplets at the like button, and just know that was sound like a seagull, and just know that I might end up reusing some older stop motion for a time or two, because I don't have time to do anything new right now, but I have some funny ideas coming. I have some really funny ideas. We'll see you next time. And as always, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. And Autobots, flip out and let's roll for it.